Welcome to Stova.
In this example, we're going to walk you through a couple of the tools that are a part of our platform, including our email invitation tool. Now, this allows you to import your contact list and send out your different emails to the different groups of individuals that you'd like about your events. So as long as it's event-related content, you can send those emails out, whether that's invitations, know before you goes, different heads-up type of emails, newsletters, things like that, as long as they're associated with your event. You also have the ability to customize these emails, not only the look and feel and content that's in there, but you can utilize our merge fields, as you can kind of see in this email here, that dear first name, that allows me to pull in people's first name to personalize the emails with the attendee information. But not only can I pull in attendee information, I can also pull in event information like titles, dates, times, locations, descriptions, all of that stuff that I've put into the platform once already, so I don't have to do it again. And these were just a couple of examples of emails. Next, we're going to take a look at some of different examples of our website technology. So after I've sent out those emails, maybe I want them to land on a page to be able to provide them information about the event, get them excited about it, get them the info that they need before that sign up happens, or maybe the sign up's open and this is just a precursor to them actually registering. But these are just some different examples to show you the flexibility that's available within our platform to stay on brand with your organization, not only in those email communications and in the registration forms, but within these websites as well. These are all built using a drag and drop editor, allowing you to build these with a WYSIWYG type of situation, meaning you'll drag things around on the page, be able to move and add content to it, as well as have some of our starting points as our default templates, where you can choose these different look and feels and use that as your baseline and then customize from there. You do have full control over these web pages, so you can add your own coding, HTML, CSS if you need to, but by no means are those requirements. You also will have noticed some of these kind of different content blocks that I've shown throughout the windows here. Things like our speaker widget, things like our agenda widget there, that allows us to pull in content from other parts of the event and present it in a very easy to consume fashion for your attendees, like being able to click into this session and see all the speakers and descriptions and information there, allowing people to filter and find what they're looking for, highlight your different speakers, sponsors, and all that information in a very easy way where you're using a single point of truth, and anytime you make an update in the platform, it disseminates to all the different parts of the platform, including things like email communications, websites, mobile apps, registration forms. So it just cuts down on the time and effort that you need to do when making those updates, as we know they happen in the event industry. This is just one more example to kind of show you some different websites here and show you some different look and feels and functionalities that are available through the website. But these are all just kind of great examples. You get to tell us what you want, or you get to build it yourself. Now, in this example here, I'm going to click on a couple of different pages, but just to show you some of that different flexibility and some of the things that our PS team can do to add those little nuances, like you saw that kind of black and white photo, then I hover over with a color there. We also can build out more customized versions of agenda widgets, speaker widgets, sponsor widgets, if you want something that has a little different look and feel. One other widget that I wanted to highlight was our calendar widget. If you have a series of events or multiple different events throughout the year, this is a great way to be able to list those in one centralized place, and that all of these widgets that we've talked about can actually be used on external web pages as well. So if you don't want to use our website, you definitely don't have to, but know that it's a part of the base platform and ready for you to utilize in a very easy to use fashion and helping keep everything in line with your brand specificity. All right, let's go ahead and jump back to that home screen and take a look at registration next. So once I was done with that website, and in fact, you're going to see another example of a website, but in a little more detail here as well. Let's go ahead and jump in. And now this is going to walk you through the full experience of an attendee journey from start to finish as part of your event. So we're going to go ahead and take another look at an invitation. Here's another example of those merge fields. We can certainly merge in event information like titles, links, dates, times, locations, as well as have different buttons on here just depending on what experience you're looking for. Do you want them to be able to decline? Do you want them to be able to register? Do you want to capture some additional information outside of sending them to a website or having them sign up for the event as a whole? Maybe you're not quite ready for that. Maybe you want to capture a survey at this point. Well, all of those things can certainly be accommodated as part of our workflows here. You also have the ability to customize these web pages. This allows you to see any of the information about your event, see your speakers, your agenda, highlight those different details, and these can be configured using our WYSIWYG or drag and drop editor. Everything that you see here is also mobilely optimized. So if I'm registering from a phone, a tablet, or a computer, it will size appropriately for my screen. And just depending on the amount of content that you want, you can do a single page, or maybe you want to have multiple pages, or maybe you even need multiple pages with multiple tabs. Well, you can get that granular within these web pages, just depending on the amount of content that you want to provide. What you're seeing on my screen right now is a great example of one of our widgets. These widgets can be used both internally on our web pages as well as externally on external web pages. You'll just take a little snippet of coding and that will put it on your own website, and then it'll embed this kind of little content block on your website. It will live update using our technology to keep your website up to date when changes are made within the Stova platform. So if I update that speaker, that agenda, or whatever it may be, that will live update within your website as long as you're using those widgets as well. These are just some different examples of how we can kind of take that widget technology and make it even more customized if you want to. So these are things that our PS team can help with if you want a different look and feel, a different kind of layout for these type of items, rather than that kind of standard agenda grid there. So definitely some flexibility here. You do have the ability to add in custom code, HTML, CSS if you need to. If you don't have those resources available, our team can certainly help with those as well here. One of the other widgets that we're going to highlight is going to be that calendar widget that allows you to see all of the events that are happening within your organization. So you can define this by different series or type, but it's a centralized place for people to go and see all of those different events and even sign up or access those web pages. And once again, that can be utilized on your web page as a kind of event calendar so people can see all the events that your organization is holding and be able to sign up for those very easily. Next, we're going to jump into the registration process. You'll notice that there are many different options on the page here, including multiple languages. We do support about 47 different languages within the platform. And what I'm highlighting for you here is that you can create multiple different packages or ticket types, really different experiences with your event. Is that virtual? Is that in person? Is it hybrid? Do you have different registration groups or pathways? All of that can be configured within the platform to customize the rest of the registration experience. What questions do I ask? What what agenda items can I see? What hotel options am I going to be able to see in there? So it really tailors that entire experience throughout that registration process. This is just an example of a registration form to show you that you can collect as much or as little data as you want. We've got all the standard field types to make sure that you get the data in the way that you want and that it's standardized across the board. If you need to, you can even build in things like selectable agendas with capacities and wait lists if you need to. You can assign costs to agenda items, or maybe you don't have your agenda ready at registration. That's fine too. We can do this as a secondary step or have them engage with this through other tools like our mobile app. If you need to deal with hotels, we have a few different ways that we can manage that. We can actually manage hotel room blocks within our platform, different room types and options, even multiple hotels if you need to. We also offer many integrations with other hotel partners like Passkey and MeetingMax. Same thing kind of goes for travel. We can capture travel details within the platform if you need to. We also have travel integrations with tools like Concur or even with the GDSs themselves to do PNR retrievals. You do also have the ability to do things like group registrations if you need to and enforce different group rules, group discounts, just depending on how you want that group experience to happen. As part of the form, you can also charge for events if you need to, or in my example here, I'm just simply done, and now I'm at the confirmation page where that can summarize all the details. I will also get a confirmation email, as you can see here, and that can include any call to actions that you'd like. Add to calendars, download the mobile app, or anything else that you'd like there.